last year, myself and MD will be able to achieve everything. Now, HR is chairing this meeting because HR is actually going to be the key driver for this exercise. And that's why HR is the one chairing the meeting. So guys, once more, thank you very much. Leave your minds open to learn. Trust me, you will learn a whole lot. Welcome once more, guys. Sit back and enjoy. I'll still be in the meeting, so part of the meeting. All right, thank you, Milani. Over to you.
Okay. I will still live.
Yes, dear.
Okay.
Hello, Milani. I'm done.
Okay. Sorry, please. I think we had a power outage here, so there's a little network failure here. All right. So we'll use this medium to welcome Ms. Tundu. She is the consultant, and she has the floor now. So Tundu, over to you, please.
Mila, we can't hear anything, except we're just to be looking at the screen.
Hello.
Oh,
all right. Tundu is here, please.
I'd been speaking, but I didn't know that I was on mute. I apologize. So good morning, everyone. And thank you for making out time to join this meeting today. I was trying to show my face so that you guys can put a face to the name. Like Milan has said, my name is Tundu. My full name is Olatundu Akinwande. And I would like to also appreciate the representative of the senior management team, the COO, that has also given us this platform, giving me this opportunity to have, this meeting with you all today, this morning. So, like in her opening speech, she has tried to give like an overall summary why we're having to do this. The whole essence is for us to be a high performance work-based company, right? To be able to understand what performance is, right? And how we want to go about ensuring that everyone works up to performance expectations in the organization, okay? And so in doing this, we had to go through a series of steps and process, which I took the MD and the CEO through, most of towards the end of last year. And as a result, we came up with how we want to measure, monitor, and manage performance, right? So this particular session is going to just focus on the metrics that we have derived from the sessions that I had with MD and with COO, right? And then going forward, I would have my one-on-ones with each of the unit heads, okay, where we are going to have a more detailed conversation around performance management and what the performance expectations will be for your team as the head of the team or the head of the unit or the head of the department, okay? I'm happy to take questions, but maybe I would prefer that we have those questions at the end of the session. And the reason why I say this is because it's most likely that as we go through the session, your question will get answered, right? And then if at all, then if it's not been answered as we go through this session, then we can, please feel free to ask once I'm done, with my presentation. Okay, so getting right to it. Right, so first of all, I would like for us to performance, right? The organization, my one-on-ones, because I do not want anything to fall through the okay. And then of course, this is going to be documented. This is just going to be an overview of how performance management is going to happen, so that when I'm talking to you, sorry, my I don't know what happened, but I lost you guys for some minutes, right? Okay, so we've come up with the strategic objective for the year, the new FY, which is 2022. And we have said that what we want to see happen this year with regards to the company is to be the foremost provider of premium, affordable digital imaging services, deploying innovative. Thank you. There's noise interference. There's noise interference. Okay. Thank you. So I'll take that again. Our strategic objective for the year, is to be the foremost provider of premium, affordable digital imaging services, deploy innovative technological solutions that guarantee quality and timeliness of output while ensuring excellent customer satisfaction, pursuing opportunities for expansion and maintaining business profitability through the creation of a performance-focused work culture. So I would like for us to note the key themes that will guide what we want to achieve in this new financial year. Okay, so from the strategic objective, the first thing we are seeing there is innovative technological solutions, right? And then followed by quality and timeliness of output. We want to ensure excellent customer satisfaction. And then we are also looking out for more opportunities to grow and expand, ensuring that we are doing that in a way that is profitable for the business. All right. And then, of course, which is what we are doing right now, focusing on performance, because we've come to realize that if we do not get performance of employees at par with management expectation in order to achieve these strategic goals, it will be impossible for us to even achieve anything at all. Okay. So going right to it, now we have developed the KPIs, okay? And these KPIs are, KPIs are key performance indicators. Again, please, I'm going to be having a detailed session with you all one by one. So I know that a lot of things will be sounding like, this is not to say that you guys do not understand what performance management really is, but some of these things may be sounding a bit maybe new to some of us. So the time is going to come where I will have my detailed sessions with you, and then I'll be able to take you through this concept thoroughly. That's the whole idea. Right. So the KPIs are key performance indicators, and this would it tells us what we want to achieve, right? In terms of how we want to measure it, so that we can manage it, right? So that's what the KPIs really are. And then we have put them together and we've called it a business scorecard. So if you know what a scorecard is, like when we're all in primary school, they give you your report card, and in your report card, you have all the subjects you've taken for the term, and then you see how you've performed in each of those subjects. So that is what this scorecard really is. We've itemized all the things we believe are important for us to achieve the kind of success and the kind of make the kind of progress we want to make and achieve, in the new F1. And then we've compiled it and we've called it a business scorecard. So as we go through the year, we monitor, we track, we review, we assess, then we will know how we are performing as a business, right? So I want to also say that these KPIs have been disintegrated into departments, right? But then I would also like to appreciate that, because like MD and CEO has mentioned, is the creative industry, it's photography, it may not be so streamlined to how the corporate world works in some aspects. So I have noticed that the nomenclature for some of the departments is a bit different from how it is, in other spheres, in terms of other business environments. Okay, so now going through these KPIs, I would want to know the unit that is going to be responsible, because I have disintegrated these KPIs into units I know should be responsible. But as it applies to Colvie now, I want to know. And then I want to know who the unit head is for that team, as it relates to the KPIs. Okay, the unit head in charge of the department that will be responsible for overseeing the achievement of the KPIs. Okay, because that is going to help me further go back and put it in the right context as it applies to Colvie, right? As it applies to our business operating context. And then when I'm having my one-on-ones with you, I have a refined KPIs based on what you have told me you handle, okay? And thankfully, HR is here. So if there are any discrepancies, we can sort it out right away, okay? So if you're following, the first department is marketing and sales, and then business development. So new outlets opened within the national space. What team is responsible for that? Do I still leave it under marketing and sales, business development? Who is the unit head for this team? Is anybody there?
I'm here.
Okay. So please, what's the name? Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Tunde.
Hello, Tundun. Thank you.
Yes,
Milan.
yes,
I wanted to say it's Milan that's supposed to respond to that.
okay. Okay.
This team set up for this, or down. We have a team set up for this already. The COO is here. She oversees all the marketing team reports to her.
Right. Okay. So I'm just going to go through the KPIs for the marketing team, and I want to get a concurrence that this is what they are going to handle as the marketing, sales, and business development team, right? So new outlets opened within the national space, new outlets opened within the international space, revenue generation per outlet international, income from outdoor event coverage, trading volume from Glam Express per outlet, trading volume from Twinkle Star per outlet, income generation through HP partnership for 7K technology, income generation through Kodak 3D technology, partnership with Keepsake clientele education, partnership and partnership sign up. This is still going to be within the marketing team, right?
This, yes.
Okay, great. Income generation through Kodak 3D technology, partnership with Keepsake clientele, and then partnership sign up, income generation through education Keepsake partnership, income generation through Moms 365 and Bumps to Babies, income generation through distribution of Kodak 6850 printer, third-party income generation through image manipulation, graphic center, upsell newly created photography printing options, global accreditation as a center of excellence with top photography associations. Now, this is coming under business development. Creation of National Photography Association and acquisition of members, income generation through trainings for external participants, right? Accredited partners, official photographer, Ministry of Sport, right? I'm waiting for the next, right, thank you. Accredited partner as official photographer, Nigerian Armed Forces. Accredited partner as official photographer, Ministry of Justice. Accredited partner as official photographer, National Assembly. Accredited partner as official photographer, Ministry of Interior. Partner with Canon and other relevant training institutes. No, I think that is some, please, can you scroll towards the left? So I'm thinking that is going to be another, no, towards the left, not the right now, towards the left. Towards the left, please.
It's at the very end of the.
Is it? But I cannot see. Okay, so I have to minimize my screen, right? Okay, so far so good. The KPIs I have listed out are for the marketing, sales, and BD team, right? So I take it that there are no objections. When I'm speaking with the head of marketing and sales, this person is already what's it called? This person is abreast with these KPIs already, so it's not going to sound new or strange to this person, and it's not going to be a thing of, oh, my team does not handle this. Okay, so moving on, HR. So HR partner with Canon and other relevant, please hold on. Partner with Canon and other relevant training institutes to develop curriculum, syllabi, and training modules. So this is relating to training. Deploy online learning courses through partnership with Canon and other photography training institutes. Staff participation in self-learning. Cascade KPIs to unit heads. Employee setting of performance objective. Compliance of set performance objectives. Monthly check-ins with managers. Quarterly performance reviews. Completion of year-end performance appraisals. Report on performance management activities. Goal setting reviews, year-end appraisal. Use of job descriptions and competency framework for candidate assessment. So HR, that is going to be your KPIs. Quality of hire, time to hire, follow through and completion of disciplinary procedure for identified cases, follow through on procedure for managing underperformance, implementing corrective measures according to procedure. Average staff performance rating. So this will be KPIs that HR is going to oversee and ensure that it's being met according to the performance expectations, okay? Now for ICT, creation of robust and interactive websites, in parentheses, e-commerce, location finder, information update on outlet, promo, seasonal information, terms and conditions, and then database. Website downtime, develop app for order placement and tracking, deploy IT security features to protect against theft of intellectual property, and then theft of intellectual property, in parentheses, pictures. Quality assessment of technology security workflows to prevent breaches, breach-proof assessment reports. So these are the KPIs for ICT. So head of ICT, please take notes. Again, if I'm reading out these KPIs and you feel it doesn't fall under your work scope, please feel free to speak up so that we can address it right here and now, because in my one-on-ones, I do not want to have a situation where, I mean, you'll be saying to me that, oh, this is not what we do in my team. That's why I'm having to go through this right now. We're having this session right now. So we finance cost analysis review, accurate reviews and reports on gross profit margins per brand, break-even analysis report per brand, cash flow analysis per brand, adherence to budget, right? Corporate communications and social media engagements, right? Number of followers engagement through likes, social media interaction, develop and post content. So that's for corporate communication and social media engagement. So head of unit, please take note. If there's anything that is different from what you know or from these KPIs or doesn't fall within your work scope, please feel free to speak up in this session so that we can address it right away. R&D, which is research and development, design affordable packaging to enhance aesthetic of products and creative tangibility for services provided, in parentheses, generic, seasonal, and personal packaging designs, develop more sophisticated photography printing options for upselling to customers. That's for research and development. Now coming to CSR, training for special needs individuals, training for Something for the Girls initiative, and then training for Behind the Veil initiative. That's for CSR. Customer experience, customer satisfaction survey, rating of TAT, redesign studios with new backdrops and props, tidy and optimally functional studio, ideas implementation, what can we do differently? So we'll be basing that on the customer satisfaction survey. That is for the customer experience team. Now for the Kodak Express Center, the KPI we want to see here in particular is the reduction of production waste. And then for compliance, the KPIs will be adherence to company policies on data protection and privacy, adherence to company policy on technology, security breaches, adherence to statutory obligations by regulatory bodies, adherence to risk management policies to ensure compliance with SOPs and ensure business continuity. Okay, so those are the KPIs per unit. Okay, so at this point in time, if there are any questions, I'm happy to take questions so that we are all on the same page and then we can take it forward. Right? Any questions? Okay.
All right, I think we're still taking notes, and probably after the slide, we'll start the questions will start flooding.
After which slide?
After the slide or the last slide or the last topic and the last unit to be discussed or to be mentioned, then
okay, so I'm done with I'm done reading the KPIs. So I was expecting that the unit heads would take notes. And if there were any questions, they will or any objections, they will speak up. Okay.
So my name is Laura, and I have a question. So we earlier on, right? There was a first slide that had on the marketing, if I'm not mistaken, targets, yes, and amounts.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's one that has international without a currency. So it's written 5. I don't know if that is in. It would be nice to have it either because it says new outlets open within the international space.
So that's 5 new outlets. 5 new outlets. So within the year, within the year FY22, it'll be 5 new outlets opened in international space. Yes.
Right. Okay. And then another question I have is now the target of what you might call it 72 million, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Revenue generation per outlet,
mm-hmm.
which will come down to about 6M per outlet
mm-hmm.
per month, right? Is that the target for the marketing team alone? If yes, what then is the target for the outlet on its own?
Fantastic. Good question. So when I'm having my meeting, my one-on-ones with the head of the marketing team, for example, in that meeting, we're going to be going through these KPIs, and then we're going to identify the subunits that will be responsible. Okay, so what this means is that overall, the marketing team is going to be held responsible for the achievement of this KPI, right? But it's now up to the head of the unit to be able to cascade it to the employees that will be responsible for ensuring that this KPI gets met, right?
Okay.
All right. So within my one-on-ones,
Yes.
I will put you through the process of how we break KPIs into tasks, and then you can do a further cascade to your team.
I completely understand. But then my next question will be, does that mean that the that the head of marketing, right, or that team is the one to have conversations with the regional managers, and
Absolutely.
then the targets will be broken down in. So then if I may see something, I might be murdered for this tomorrow, right? But if you're looking at, let's say, for example, because we have different type of outlets. Sorry, I'm in a noisy place. I'll try to speak as fast as I can. Because we have different type of outlets, right? The flagship, for example, that already makes a general of 10, 12 M, a 6 million target. Is that what we should be aiming at per month? Or should there be a different target amount for the flagship outlets?
Good question. And I say this because, again, in how we're going to assess performance, there will be like a rating criteria. Okay. So if we've set 6 million, 6 million is on target, right? So a team can go above target. A team can exceed target.
Right.
Do you understand? So it's just like people, exactly. So
but is it a realistic target for a flagship? I ask this because, for example, if we were to break down, let's say, the rent and all other expenses that a flagship would normally have, the expenses can be quite high. I'm just thinking out loud here. So I don't know if it's a realistic target to have a 6M.
Okay, so now.
Hello, good morning. My name is Esther Adams. I also want to ask a question concerning that. Maybe simplify it. But when you say an outlet should have...
Hold on, Esther. I think Laura was still speaking. Unless yeah, Laura was still speaking. So I want... Okay. Okay.
So we just wrote down the same question, practically.
Okay.
We're in the same form.
Okay, so I'm thinking, when you say 6 million is a target and an outlet can exceed that target, are you trying to say, for example, say Abuja has 5 outlets currently, and then you're saying each outlet should have 6 million. And for example, some outlets in Abuja make 10 million, and then another outlet can make 2 million. Are you saying, for example, if Abuja with the 5 outlets make 30 million a month, that's okay? You're just going to divide it across the outlets, or you're saying each outlet must make 6 million?
Yes, so each outlet must make 6 million. If an outlet makes more than 6 million, then it will be assessed as they've worked above target or they have exceeded target, depending on how much. Okay. So, and if they've done below 6 million, it's obviously below target. So it's already a flag. So I must say that I did not come up with this figure. MD did. He says he wants outlets to make 6 million, each a month. That's what he's saying.
Okay. All right. So I think the answer is, I mean, by the time you do the breakdown with the marketing team, I assume we're going to come out into more detailed overview. So that's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any more questions?
I have another question, but
No.
I'll need to see if possible, I'll need to look at the social media corporate communications slide because I didn't screenshot it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm seeing, pardon me, number of followers, followers engagement, social media interaction, development and post content. So we have other activities that take place, right, in a year, like activations, creative shoots, and all other things. Should there be like a target of what should be created? So sometimes getting content, right, will go from creating it as well as awaiting content from outlets. Does that mean that during the breakdown you will do, it will also become clear as to what they must create versus what will come from the outlets?
Okay, so when you pick a KPI, right, is to identify the task required to achieve that KPI. So what you have mentioned now is sounding to me like the things that need to be done before a post can happen, right? And so I would believe that somebody, in the organization will be responsible for ensuring, I don't know, maybe the collection of pictures, all the things you've mentioned to ensure that a post happens, okay? So it can now be assigned to that person as a performance goal, as a task, and the person has to be able to do it. And then, I mean, if there's a need to forward it to whoever it is that's in charge of, posting on social media, then the person has to forward it to that person. So in answering your question, yes, when we are doing the cascade, the breakdown, that's the time these kinds of activities begin to come up. So it helps, it helps the whole process a bit more, it makes it easier, right, for everyone to know what they're supposed to do, what they will be doing, what they're going to be assessed on in terms of performance. So yes, it's when we do the further breakdown that we will now come up with these activities, that will entail the achievement of a KPI. Have I answered your question?
Yes, but then my question to that department then will be corporate communications wise, right? We have let's say internal corporate communication matters, right? Where, for example, things need to be communicated to internal team members as well as external. I'm not necessarily seeing anything regarding the content that has to be created for corporate communications purposes. So I'm wondering if that should be added, or would that also be done when you're doing the breakdown? I'm trying to be as clear as I can in my own mind, just thinking through here.
So if you're talking about coming up with a new KPI because you think that, there are more activities that the team does, then that's something that will pass through the senior management and then we can include it. Okay?
Yes, that's actually what I am hinting at, because I'll give a very simple example, right? We had a corporate communication officer, a few months ago or a few weeks ago, right? And there were some internal, so there are times when there are internal messages that need to be passed beyond just sending an email, for example, right? And finding different ways to be able to communicate internally for internal team members to understand and pass across a message. And what I did notice then was that the corporate communications person didn't necessarily have a direction as to what role they have to play in communicating internally and the things that have to happen to ensure that we find better ways to communicate.
Okay, so the way I understand what you have said, I'm struggling as to if that is a core KPI. And I say this because a KPI is something that you want to measure because it has to be measured to manage and monitor and manage the progress that is being made, because it feeds into achieving the company's goals. So I am not saying that what you're saying is not helping to achieve the company's goals. Well, how do you want to measure, that person's output with regards to that particular task? So yes, that person has that task to do, but how do you want to measure it? Is it that on a weekly basis, this person has to send out certain communications to everyone in the organization? Is that a must? For example.
Well, I wouldn't say weekly a must, but I would say, for example, if for example we have an activity coming up, right? We have months where we have, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 activities coming up, right? Which sometimes.
Hello, am I the only one that can't hear Laura? Am I the only one that can't hear Laura?
I might.
Hello.
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 Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Laura.
Did you hear anything I said before? Because I was made to understand you. I wasn't audible.
Yes. So what I heard last was when you said that it's not like the person has to do it weekly, but you find out that whenever the person has to do it, something like that.
Yes. I don't know if it can be measured, because, I mean, in my mind, there are not a lot of things that can be measured when it comes to words specifically, right? But I'm just looking at, for example, I'm saying this from a point of challenge that was faced when we had a corporate comms person, right? Because we will have activations, or we'll have activities that internal team members will not know. And when the customer comes to the outlets, the team members don't know what to tell the customer. It might be a failure on maybe the project person of that particular team. But I feel like there are times when we have so many activations and activities in a month, especially festive periods, that some sort of communication could go out. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Right. So let me help you fine-tune your thoughts. In setting KPIs, the principle is that it has to be SMART. So it has to be specific, right? Measurable, achievable, right? Result realistic, and then time bound. So if there is a way that what you're saying, right, can be structured in such a way that is able to reflect these 5 principles for setting KPIs, then we can have it as a KPI. But if we are struggling to meet up on the whole idea of being smart about it,
right? Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly. So if it's something that meets the SMART principle, then please pass it through the senior management and I can include it. But if it cannot meet it, then it will be hard. So I get it that person has to get that job done, but you have to find a way to ensure that person is doing it right.
It's measurable. That makes sense. Definitely. Okay. I don't have any other question.
Excuse me, please.
Hello?
I don't have any other question. So I'll just mute.
All right. Does anyone else have questions?
Yeah, I do. It's actually not a question. It's actually since you said my name is Nonia, by the way, and since you said you're going to meet with everyone, It's more like because I have some serious issues with the KPI, and
Right.
it's a lot, and I really don't
Right.
want to just drag it on here because it's going to be back
Right.
and forth. So since you said you have meetings with the unit, then I think I can share with you on a one-on-one basis.
Okay, so but it will be nice because I believe senior management is represented here. So the idea is that whatever concerns you have about these KPIs, we need to address them today so that when I'm meeting with you, we're already on the same page. If I have to fine tune anything, it means that I will have to fine tune those things before I have my meetings with you, right?
Okay. All right. Okay. So here's the thing. First of all, first things first. On this KPI, for instance, corporate communications, like for Kodak Express now, we are running as an entirely different company, but most of the things that I can see here is majorly like with Studio 24 in mind. But for the business, the marketing plan, I can see some Kodak targets like the machines and the 7K machine. I understand all of those things, but it's like for Kodak, we intend having our own marketing. We have a social media. We are for research and development. So it's like for CSR, we're not even involved in it at all. So we don't know because we have plans for that as well. So that's the issue I have personally because everything is majorly too molded up, and it's a bit very, I don't even know where to start from. So so for clarity, I would recommend that probably they are like divided into the components under COVID, so we know what we are after. So that's what I think, but I really don't want to do like a back and forth. That's why I'm saying that I completely have issues with the KPI, how they were arranged and the targets and all that. For corporate communications, for instance, number of followers, Instagram, TikTok, 1 million. I think you're referring to maybe Studio 24 because we are just growing the page for Kodak. So, and we have a separate target, maybe photo like that issue, that one of photographers. Studio 24 cannot really have relationship with photographers, so we are the ones that are actually handling that. So I get where you say, okay, we want 1,000 photographers and registered, yeah. So I understand that one, but everything is so modeled up, and it's really not clear. It's not clear at all. So that's the issue I have, and it's a big one. It's very big. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, hi Noye.
Hello, please.
Ooh, okay. Right, Noye, you are the unit head for which department?
Kodak.
Okay.
Kodak.
Okay, great. So these KPIs, right, are an overview of everything the company wants to achieve, okay? And they have been separated into departments that will be accountable, okay? Okay, I'll still have to take us through what we call a RASI matrix, but that's as time goes on. This department is accountable, right? Now it will break down into teams that will be responsible. So for example, the head of marketing that looks at the 7K partnership may say, okay, Kodak Express is going to be the one that will be responsible to ensure that we meet this target. That is where it's going to be further cascaded, okay? So for example, I want to believe that even though targets for outlets is under marketing, it will still trickle down to maybe CSS, customer service superstar personnel. It will still trickle down to the regional managers that will be responsible for some amount. It will still trickle down to outlet managers. So that's how it's going to work. If you say it's all modeled up, no, it's not like it's all modeled up. This is an overview of everything the company wants to see happen, right, in the new financial year. But it's still going to be further broken down. So I don't know if that already clears some of the concerns you have. Okay. Now, if you say with Kodak Express, you are like a company on your own, then I think it's something that the senior management team would have to look into. So that means Kodak Express will have its own KPIs on the different, how would I put it now? So for each unit or each division within Kodak Express, which I don't get is the sense that it's not, I don't get it as what was communicated during the strategy sessions I had with the COO and MD. Right. So in as much as, yes, we understand, I mean, we acknowledge that there's Kodak Express, there's Glam Express, there's a Twinkle Star, there's Studio 24. These are overview KPIs, okay? And it's going to be further cascaded. So whichever team you fall into, the bit that belongs to you will be cascaded to you for you to see through the achievement of it, okay? So I don't know if my explanation has helped clear your concerns in any way. No, yeah.
Yes, please.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Noye. Hi, Noye. Noye.
Hello.
Noye. So the yes you are saying, yes that you are clear, or yes, okay, that's fine. Whatever you guys want to do.
No. Yes. I understand what you just said.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes.
Ooh, there's so
I
much
want to
interference
ask
there.
questions.
Ooh. There's so much interference. It's echoing. Hello?
Hello. Yeah. My name is Eno Jatade Sekene.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm student for internal auditor.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But going this KPI, going through this KPI.
Sorry, I didn't get your. I didn't get your.
What?
Hello. You said you are the head of what?
Hello. I said my name is Eno Jatade Sekene. I'm head of audit.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. But going through the KPI you provided that we are looking at now, I noticed some certain things. You wrote about the finance and you put a cost analysis review and all that, but there are still other finance or account department job function, the major ones that I'm not seeing. I don't know whether it's going to come under some other things, or I don't know, but I'm not seeing them there, like preparation of financial statements and all that. I'm not seeing it here. And again, I don't know whether you model up audit and account into finance, because I'm not seeing some of the things that I'm doing here. So I'm not even seeing audit as a head here. So I don't know what is your mind towards that.
Okay. Audit.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. So that's a good point you've raised, because we have to be able to measure and manage what it is you do. Let me speak to
Sorry.
COO.
Hello, sorry, Tundun.
Yes, please.
Hello, Tundun.
Yes, please.
All right, so quick one. I just want to give a reminder that when we were having this strategy session with yourself, myself, and MD, we had mentioned to you that the KPIs are going to be, they'll be built up, or they'll be beefed up based on your conversation. Now, first of all, I didn't even know we're going to actually share this with the team. Because what I was thinking was you were going to have a conversation with the team members, see what they do, see where they fit into all of this, and then that now becomes this general, because from the questions I'm getting and the comments I'm getting from my colleagues, and why they keep on saying it's modeled up, is this, that, is because this is supposed to have been something for top management's own view, not really for them for now. Because I remember when we had the conversation, we said that we're going to still have to, you're going to have, use this as a guide and then have your individual meetings with them based on their job descriptions, looking at these goals that are our own vision per se, and now seeing where they fit in, and then seeing where instances where we might have overlooked. So for instance, now we're talking about finance now, and we're only doing core finance and we don't have anything on internal control. But if we had had a conversation with the internal control person, going back when we are having our own meetings, we were able to say, oh, you know what, guys, internal control is not here. The question Noye also has brought up in terms of talking about Kodak as well, this is our own overview. But you know, as a company, we're broken down into different brands. So I'm thinking in order for us to be able to get a better roadmap will be for when you have your conversations and sessions with them, and then based on their JDs, we will now be able to say, okay, you know what, there are certain places that it seems as if, oh, we did not put, because I'm seeing someone saying something about there's nothing for property, admin, facility, you understand, and all of that. So I'm thinking that this is just my own thoughts, that what we're doing right now, we might need to just say, hey guys, you know what, okay, it's fine. We know that this is what management is looking at, but I'm thinking that please, when you're having your one-on-one sessions, we're going to have to come back to this scorecard to say, okay, you know what, this particular thing, for instance, property, admin, internal control, Kodak Express, and things like that are not there. And then I think I heard Laura also mentioning trying to understand 4 something, 12 something, that something, this something. For clarity, please, I would like a situation where we differentiate the figures, the percentages, and the amounts. Now, like I tried to explain earlier on, we're a creative industry, and I like for things to be put down in white and black in a way that we're more visual than writing. I don't know if you get. Yes, this might be your own style, and that was why I remember asking that I might need to ask our own HR guys to try and do it in a way that we in our own industry understand. So for instance, we're saying we're opening 4 new or 5 new international. For me, I would have loved a situation where it's there in black and white. 5 new international brands in 1 year. Because trust me, we're on the move. Right now, as I'm talking to you now, Laura, Esther, Isisong, and Tarella have had to leave this meeting because we're shooting a polo tournament. So the way we work in our own industry is things that are visual. We're seeing them, we're understanding, and then we're moving. Like I said, it's my own suggestion. You're the one who's actually running this, but I would suggest that we should kind of like just hold on this general scorecard. And then when you're done with your individual interactions with them as a guide, we now come back again and now we now have a robust scorecard, and then we can now have the conversation. So that's just my own view.
Okay. So you want me to go ahead with one-on-ones, and then if there's need to review the scorecard, then we review it. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, I would prefer you start with your one-on-ones so that way you're able to have the conversation with them. You have their JDs, you see what they're doing, you look at, okay, so because for instance, now going through this now in hindsight, I'm realizing just like Ekene has raised up, there's finance, but there's nothing talking about internal control, reducing this to that or doing that under his own finance. So when he's seeing this, he feels, this guy is saying I'm not relevant to the goals for 2022 upwards. Noye feeling the same way. Am I not relevant? Laura also asking there. This you get. So I'm of the opinion, please. Let's just round up, do an overview of everything you discussed with them, and then the one-on-ones begin. I think we will get a more productive scorecard once you have your one-on-ones, and then that way everybody kind of like feels relevant, and then they're understanding fully what this is all about. Because like I said, this was basically supposed to have been for top management, and then you have your one-on-ones, and your one-on-ones now build it.
So let me clarify this, SSY. If you're coming up with this suggestion, it's okay. I can run with it if that is what will work. But my one-on-ones with them, right, was to help them know how to cascade and how we want to measure. In other words, the KPIs have already been agreed upon, okay? And then from this session, It's just to bring them up to speed, abreast with the KPIs. If there are any objections, we note it. And then, I mean, that's why you are here as senior management representative, to go back and say, okay, we need to look at this, and then help me, and then we include it. So that by the time I'm having my one-on-ones with them, we already have set KPIs, and I'm just running along and helping them cascade. Okay, so that people can now begin to set their
Sorry,
performance goals.
Hello, Tundu. No, so I get where you're coming from. But what I'm saying now is, I remember during this meeting where we had, remember I was saying that I needed for even the KPIs to be aligned with our corporate culture, our corporate pillars, sorry. And then we were like, okay, we'll sit down with our internal HR, look at the things we want to be as our corporate pillars, whether it's innovation, financial viability, the different things we talked about. Before we're able to teach our team members on how to cascade to their team members, they need to even understand, and that's where the JD thing still comes in. So for instance, now a regional manager looking at this scorecard might be wondering, where do I even fit in? So the JD still have a way where they help them to say, you know what, you as a region, you have a target from 72 million or for 720 million. Your target as a region is 60 million. Talk to me, let me know, what do you do? What are the things that you do? And then from there, now the key word, like you're saying, is key. So it doesn't mean that it's all their JDs that have to be in the goal setting, but the key things they need to do to ensure that the 6 million or 60 million or whatever the target is given to them. Like I said, it's just my own suggestion. You don't need to go with it, but I'm thinking that because I'm internal, I would have a better understanding of how this will move smoothly. Because first things first, people need to even understand, okay, you know what my JD that I even have, what am I supposed to even do? What do I do? So let's take, for instance, now we're talking about social media. The social media person needs to understand, okay, I develop this, I do that, I do this, I do this, I do that, I do this. And then it's when he understands all of that, he's now able to say, okay, I have a target that every engagement I have, I must have 500 likes. And then he now cascades down to his team members to say, what are the things we need to do to ensure that, you know what, this post we are putting up has to actually get these likes. Now that helps the social media person know that, you know what, I'm not going to send out flimsy or very flipping, irritating content that will not make people talk, but I need to put out something that will make people say, oh my gosh, I'm giving them like 1,000 likes if possible, if I could do that. So I don't know, I'm still of the opinion that let's actually have the one-on-ones. And that's one of the reasons why I kept on, I said it at the beginning, that our own internal HR has to still be part of this process, because we'll be surprised that there might be some people who have never even really understood what the JD even is. And so when you're just going to meet them now and say, okay, you know what, you are the head of this thing, in the COO scorecard, you're supposed to do, so you fall under here. The person is looking at you and saying, okay, but I never maybe ever even knew that I was supposed to be doing that or supposed to be doing this. So I would still recommend that during your one-on-ones, let's have a conversation around people's JDs so they understand that, okay, you know what, I'm an internal control person. What might work. So everything we've done for finance now is basically not, a lot of it, just like the internal control person has said, is nothing. So what that means is we've missed out the internal control part of finance. But when we're going through his JD or we're going through another person's JD, we'll be able to know and say, okay, oh, okay, this is, okay, that is. So for instance, admin, facility and property, we should have something that says from our property business this year, one of the key performance indicators is we're earning, we don't have that by some property and admin person, and you're seeing JD and you're seeing, okay, she's supposed to make sure we have rentals, it now helps us. Like I said, just a suggestion. Hello, Tunde, I'm done. Hello, Milan. Hello, Milan.
Hello.
Hello, Milan. Sorry. Okay, Tulu is back.
Hello.
I wanted Milan to check if you were back.
Oh, okay. Right. So I've heard what you said, SSWA. So my suggestion is, because I cannot start deriving KPIs with unit heads in my one-on-ones with them. No. So since HR is here, HR has listened in, and then CEO, as a representative of senior management, you are here, you've listened in. What that tells us is that maybe there are still some aspects of what should be measured that is not included. So anyone who has an objection like that or a concern like that can liaise with HR, and then that should be fed back to the senior management team, and then communicated back to me as a KPI. Then I would include it. My one-on-ones with unit heads, right, is that we have set KPIs, and that I want to put them through the process of cascading. It's not necessarily to start deriving KPIs again. No. So that
No,
is
I didn't
why,
ask for you to derive. I said HR will work in conjunction with you and our team
right.
heads.
Okay.
That was what I said. So I didn't say you, and that's why from the very beginning I have been mentioning it, that HR is
All right.
key in this process. Because as time goes on, we should have our performance management team as well. So HR is key to this process. Now, reason being that we don't want a situation where we work with a scorecard, we're not looking at JDs, and we're not creating proper KPIs on people, and then we now overburden certain people. So we're not saying you should do it, but it'll be nice for you to be part of the process because you are a consultant.
Okay,
but
so
we're not putting it back on you, but we're saying that we'd like a situation where this is also done, so that we're not edging out anybody, whether on purpose or not on purpose. Yes, we know it's our own function as HR, but because you are our consultant on board with us, it would be nice for you to please liaise with HR so that at least we can have a more robust scorecard.
So what's going to happen is this. Unit heads, if there's any concern you have about your KPIs, perhaps there was something you feel we should measure or something that borders on some aspect of what you do that was not included in the scorecard, please work with HR. HR, I will come in when you have had your meeting with the unit head so that I will see how we can construct the KPI to fit. So I will just be providing that expert guidance to construct that KPI to fit and then include it in the scorecard. Right? So please liaise with HR. HR, please, you can now feed me back with the outcome, and then we'll see how we can construct the KPIs to fit. Okay? So in my meeting with unit heads, what I'll be doing is that those KPIs have been agreed on. That's what it means. And then I'm now teaching them, I'm taking them through the nitty-gritty of performance management, and then teaching them how to cascade and how reviews and appraisals will happen. Okay. That would be what my one-on-ones with them would entail. So whatever KPIs need to be included or reviewed, whatever the case is, please liaise with HR. HR, feed me back with that information, and we can look at it, providing my own expert eye to it so that we can construct it properly and include it in the scorecard.
So what I would suggest, because it's always nice for us to work with timelines. So heads of units, please, we're giving you from now till close of business on Tuesday. Sorry, close of business on Monday. By Tuesday, Milan should have received everything by close of business Monday, Milan should have received messages or emails from anybody who has issues with these KPIs. If by Tuesday morning, Milan has not received, by close of business, Milan hasn't received anything, what that means is that everybody is satisfied with what has been done so far. And then Tundun, what that means is that from Tuesday next week, please, you can start having your one-on-ones, because I need for there to be timelines so that we don't have a situation where it's, oh, because maybe we're taking it back because of all of that. No. So from now to Monday, unit heads, if you have any concerns, please ensure that Milan gets them before close of business on Monday. Milan, for anybody who you don't receive anything from them by that Monday, please let Tundun know so that she starts her own one-on-ones with those units Tuesday morning, please.
Okay, so yeah, so if there that's another thing. If there are any concerns or objections or inclusions we need to make, if they are going to be handing it into HR on Monday, when do I have the time to include it in the scorecard?
Okay, sorry, please let me come in now. I think to make it easier for us all, we all know what we are responsible for, we know what we do and all of that. And the meeting was going on, we still have on screen what the KPIs look like and what is expected of us. Let's list out what we need to add, what we need to subtract, and let's have this at the HR department before close of business tomorrow. That makes it fine for us all.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
We work every day of the week.
Fantastic. That works for me because I want to start meeting with unit heads by, if possible, Monday. So if we can get it in by close of business tomorrow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Then if there's any need for me to rework the KPIs, so that means
do that on Sunday.
No, I won't work on Sunday. I apologize. I won't work on Sunday. No, I won't work
So
on
that's
Sunday.
the reason. That's the reason why we said everything should be settled by Monday.
Yeah. So by Monday.
Because
by Monday, everything.
So by Monday we know.
Done.
By
Right,
Monday.
so we can
by
do
Monday, close
12
of business.
noon
If
Monday.
there's nothing, Tuesday she starts.
No, we can still do 12 noon
So
on
Milan,
Monday.
let's do your own internally Sunday, but by Monday, Tundun should get your report immediately by first thing
so
Monday
we can
morning.
do 12 noon. We can do 12 noon Monday. So anything after 12 will deal with what we have on.
1 minute, please. Oh, I am a consultant, right? So bear with me that I would also have my own peculiarities with regards to timing. Okay, in as much as I would try my best to align with your timing, if I would have to defer, please, that would also happen. So I also want to, I'm conscious of the time we have left to get this, started. What you can do for me is, Milan, please, if there are any feedbacks, send them back to me. I will let you know when I will be done in terms of reviewing and reconstructing. And then when I'm ready to start meeting with unit heads, I will send an email, okay? And I will let you know the unit head I'll be meeting on which day and what time, okay? And if possible, the platform, because this Zoom, I don't know much about Zoom and sharing things. I struggled with it this morning, okay? My preference would be Teams, but that's a discussion for, outside of this meeting. Right, so that would be my own suggestion. As much as I would like to run with your time, you would have to bear with me that I'm a consultant and I have peculiarities with my time as well. So I'll advise, right? So please just send it back to me, whatever feedbacks they have, and then we'll take the communication up from there. And when I'm done, ready to start meeting with unit heads, I will send an email to let you know what day, the time, and which unit head I'll be meeting with.
All right, so Tundra, I think that's fine. That's fine. Milan, so you have Silva wants to say something, and then you have, I think Yaro has something he's put in the chat. So it'll be nice for you, Milan, to please check the chats. Silva, you can go ahead, and then after you're done, Silva, Milan will please read out what Yaro is asking. So over to you, Silva.
All right, good morning, ma'am. The current academic training and training. So I don't know if there's any way they can in the list as well. That's close with it. And I'm really happy that she's going to be having one-on-one conversation with us, and we're ready to share our idea and all that with her.
I didn't hear what Silva said. I didn't hear a thing. So I don't know if Milan, if you heard, can you please communicate it to me, or maybe he has to repeat himself? Didn't hear anything he said.
I think Silva may have to repeat himself or be more audible.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I said that I didn't see anywhere what we do as creative team is listed on the list you sent on the presentation. I can't figure it out except the Canon Academy training that we do. That is the only thing. So I would like us to also look into the creative team. And the only thing that is making me to be happy right now is the fact that you're going to be having one-on-one meeting with all the departments. And from there, we can give you everything. Then we would also need our JD for more clarification and more understanding. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so in response to that, in response to that, I believe you must have been listening in. So please liaise with HR. HR is going to get back to me. Okay. When you say you don't have your JD, wow.
Hello, please. I would like to point out something again.
Is that still Silva?
Hello, this is Ekene.
Mr. Ekene, I was still responding to Silva's question.
Okay.
Yeah. So you say you don't have your JD. So JDs are going to be made, okay, but not at this stage. I want to believe that even if you've been with the company for some time, so you've been responsible for certain tasks, and your head of department will be able to say, okay, you are even the head of department. If there's anything you do that has not been mentioned that you feel needs to be measured, please let HR know. The JD aspect will be sorted along the line, but it's not going to deter this process, because what is happening is that this process will actually tell you what you should be doing and how we want to see you perform on it. Okay, so I'm not discountenancing the fact that it's important for you to have a JD, but it's not going to deter this process. The JD will come up somewhere along the line. It will, but we will still go on. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So I don't know if anyone still has any question after this. All right. So in the absence of none, we may have to.
Hello, Milan.
Yes, please.
Hello, Milan.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really understood you, so there's no problem. But I also want to point out on the target or something like that, that you say that 2 million naira per annum. So I want to point out that based on the record I have seen for previous years, well, it's 2 million naira. We have a branch that even make almost above 100 million naira in a year.
All right,
so
Mr. Ekene, sorry. Sorry, Mr. Ekene, if I may have to cut you short now, please. We had concluded that every concern, addition, suppression, observation should be forwarded to the HR department latest 12 p.m. on Monday. So I presume that we should all put our observations, additions, subtractions, and whatever we feel or see that need to be added or subtracted from these KPIs, and forward same to us in real time. All these observations, let's put them into writing and forward them with cascade and deal with them accordingly.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So one more word, Tundun, so we can bring the meeting to an end.
Right. So permit me, Milan, because I understand that you're trying to provide some direction, you know, on how questions will be entertained. But I would like to say something to what Mr. Ekene has said, because that question has come up before. Maybe you missed my answer. So let me just help you out.
Yeah, Laura did ask.
Exactly. So I would use an analogy of going to school and you have to write your WAEC. So you know that the standard for passing WAEC is a C. Once you have a C, you are good, right? Now, in performance management, that's on target. But when you have a B, you are above target. When you have an A or an A star, you have exceeded target. So even if there's a target that has been set for 2 million, remember that the idea is being realistic, okay, in how we set this target. But it doesn't mean that you cannot go above and beyond 2 million. It only just makes you stand out as an A-star student, which will be rewarded eventually, I believe. So, and it will, let me say, be noted or recognized. So irrespective of the fact that even if there's a target, I even believe that you should aim above that target. But what we've said is that that target is, at least we want to see that happen as a basis to measure that we've done well. If we go above it, beautiful. That's an A star, that's an A, which is great. Do you understand the whole idea behind, you know, what we're doing with regards to your question? Are you clear now?
Yeah. I'm clear. Thank you very much.
Great. In conclusion, from my own end, I would say a very big thank you, again, for making our time to have this session with me. I am already delighted because I can tell that we have people who are able to apply their ability to, you know, be insightful and to be, you know, be critical. It's a great thing to be critical. So you just don't take everything you're being thrown at face value. You're able to ask questions and seek clarifications. And trust me, honestly, those are the kinds of minds I like to work with. People who would ask questions, who would, you know, demonstrate insight and understanding, and, you know, already appear to be knowledgeable. It makes it very easy. It makes it very smooth for me as a consultant to be able to, work with you. But that's not to say that if you do not understand, I will not be there to put you through. Exactly. My point again, as a consultant, my job is to also help you understand, even if you do not understand, okay? So I look forward to our one-on-ones. I just hope that we would be able to sail through smoothly. I want us to have an open mind, because what the company wants to achieve with this is to ensure that everybody is doing what they need to do in order to help the company succeed. And you will agree with me that if you're able to help the company succeed, it means that you also are succeeding, right? And you would also grow as the company grows. You will also develop as the company develops. You will also profit as the company profits. So I want us to look at it from that perspective, have that positive, open mindset, right? In how we're going to attack this whole thing, or how we're going to approach it, so that at the end of the day, everybody is happy. And you have something to say, yes, I did a job well done. My performance appraisal came out and I did exceedingly well. In fact, I exceeded target. I exceeded the 2 million target I was given. You know, it's something that when you are going to sleep at night, you think about it and you have concrete evidence to show for your going to work Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or as the case may be, okay? So I really look forward to having my sessions with you all, and God bless. Thank you so much. Over to you, Milan.
All right. So thank you, Tudu, for this session. We also thank the MD for this initiative. I will believe by the grace of God, at the end of the day, the main purpose of bringing this on board will be achieved. So on this note, we'll like to have Miss Amuche give us a closing prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for this beautiful meeting. Thank you for making it possible for us to attend. Thank you for the details. Thank you for the suggestions. And thank you for everyone here. Father, give us the grace to be able to apply all that we've been told here, to be able to bring up those things that will move the company forward, all to the greater glory of your name. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen.
May we share the grace. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God,
Jesus Christ,
the love of
sweet
God, and fellowship of Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell in the house of God.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.